Hey everybody, it's me, MsHcGGirl, and I'm checking in and with a recipe idea that's sugar-free, and it can be used on the HCG protocol on P2, P3, or P4. That's phases. On P2, this is an off-protocol item. It's sort of like Chocolate Delight, but we are calling this item MsHcGGirl's Chocolate Manna. I thought of this name and thought of this idea a while back, and probably about 6 months ago, because we've been eating it since then. But right now, I'm going to show you how to make this. First thing I want you to do is I want you to come over to your stove, and I want you to get a pot, and we're going to make a double boiler effect. If you have a double boiler, put some boiling water at the bottom of a pot and get it to start boiling, okay? Then I want you to get some kind of glass bowl to sit in it. And this bowl is going to get hot, okay? We're going to use this as a double boiler. And you want some kind of whisk product, and you want a spatula like this, a rubber spatula. Now, in the meantime, I'm going to tell you the things that I want you to start adding in here. The first thing I want you to add, if you want to go and buy this product, you can go and buy this product. But I just showed in another video how to make your own coconut manna, okay? And all coconut manna is shredded coconut with a little bit of coconut oil added, and I grinded it up in my Vitamixer, and it looks just like butter. So I want my husband to show you here. Okay, it looks just like butter, but it's coconut, okay? All it is coconut and a little bit of coconut oil. So the first thing we're going to do is add 1 cup of this into our double boiler, okay? And it's going to start melting even more than what it really is right now. This is a phenomenal product, especially if you like coconut, but today it's going to turn into a chocolate sensation, okay? So, put that in there. And then the second thing I want you to get is you really need to get some coconut oil, okay? I'm using Trader Joe's today, and I'm using half a cup. Use your judgment. This candy recipe is going to make 46 of these type pieces, and you're going to need something to put your candy in. You don't have to put it in these silicone molds, but I recommend that you get silicone molds. They're easy to pop out. So get you some coconut oil, a half a cup of that, and put it in with the coconut manna, okay? Alright, the next thing that you need is you're going to need some, and this is extra coconut butter for another day. I'm just going to put these things to the side. The next thing I want you to get is, I have halved the recipe. When I first made this recipe, I made it, and when it comes out, there's about 4 cups that it makes. So you can fill up 96 trays, 96 pieces of this. And so tonight, for the sake of you guys, we're having it, and half of the recipe is 3/4 a cup of cocoa. So what I did is half of the 3/4 is the dark cocoa, the special dark, and then the other half of the 3/4 is the natural sweetener. Just don't, you don't want too much cocoa powder, because what's going to happen is it's going to get too thick, okay? And you want this to turn out like candy. So right now, we are trying to get our pot to come to a boil right now. I'm going to put this to the side here while we're working on this. And as you can see, I don't know if the cameraman can see, but we can move this out the way. I've been making all kinds of stuff here tonight. Is you want it to be very creamy. See how it's just now starting to get that way, and the coconut oil in this is starting to melt too. You want this very, very, very creamy. And we're doing this with a double boiler and not in the microwave, because the microwave kills the enzymes in the coconut, and it also kills the enzymes in the rest of your food. And this is a live food product that when you put it in the freezer and then you eat it, It helps you in so many realms. If you haven't read about coconut oil, you should read about the benefits, the health benefits of coconut oil. It's almost there. There's just one little piece here that's trying to melt. So the next thing I want you to do is, I'm looking at my recipe, is we're going to add a dash of salt. So we're going to go ahead and add that now. And a dash is about 1/8 of a teaspoon, okay? So I'm going to put that in my hand, and it's about that much. So we're going to add that in there. It's going to help bring out the flavor of the chocolate. And before we add the chocolate, we're going to add the sugar, okay? And as you can see, the water's boiling, and it's heating this glass bowl at the bottom, and that's melting the coconut butter. So now we're going to add our powdered Truvia. And I have a video out there on how to powder Truvia, and thanks to a good friend of mine in the HCG community who suggested how to do this. And so that was a whole cup of powdered Truvia. And as you can see, it's almost looking like, I don't know, a very thick concoction now. It's getting thicker because of the sugar. And the cup seems like a lot of sweetener, but this is going to be for 46 pieces, okay? Now, it's pretty melted. It's getting there. So the next thing I want you to do is go ahead and add the cocoa at this point, okay? It's going to get a lot thicker, the 3/4 a cup of cocoa. All right. All right, see this concoction now? It's really getting chocolatey and good. It almost looks like a cake batter, but thicker than a cake batter, like a brownie batter, okay? But at this point, this is the point that you have to make a decision. Now, for me personally, I love almond extract, and I put it in almost everything, okay? So, I'm going to add a 1/2 tablespoon of almond extract to this, and once I do, this concoction, whatever you want to call it, it gets a lot thicker, okay? So what I need you to do in the meantime is get ready with your MCT oil. See this stuff? This is medium chain triglyceride oil, because we're going to thin it up if it gets too thick. So what I want you to do is add your kind of flavoring at this point. I'm adding 1/2 tablespoon of almond extract. I'm just using McCormick's, okay? And now we're going to stir it up. And see, it's getting pretty thick. And at this point, you don't have to add the MCT oil, or you can add the MCT oil. But at this point, I normally taste it to see if it's sweet enough and if it has enough flavoring. This is not going to look like lemon truffles, okay, like the Heavy Dobby recipe for lemon truffles. You can do that with this, but what I do with it is I pour it in the molds, and I make like little pieces of candy, and I dish them out throughout the day on my phase 2 or phase 3 when I'm craving something chocolatey or sweet. Now, at this point, I have already poured 1/8 of a cup of MCT oil. So I'm going to go ahead and pour that in my mixture. And see, now I want it a little more on the watery side, like oily side, because when I go to pour this out into the molds, I don't want it so thick that I can't pour it into the molds. And speaking of molds, while this is sitting here staying warm, I want to show you something. I got all of these molds. All of these molds came from either Dollar Tree, I think the pumpkin ones, every one of these. I have little snowmen, I have the tiki men, I have the stars for 4th of July, I have the hearts for Valentine's Day, more snowmen, and more stars. Today, this is going to take about 5 of these that we can make with this stuff. Now, let me tell you another thing. My husband and my daughter, they're not huge fans of the mac pieces, but I want you to know, macadamia nuts, I buy these pieces at Trader Joe's lately. We finally got to Trader Joe's, so I'm over there all the time. And the Mct pieces were very reasonable, so they're already chopped up. So in half of these, I'll put Mct pieces, and the others I'll just leave solid chocolate for my husband and my daughter. They're not, like I said, big nut fans like I am. And if you're on P2, macadamia nuts can help you stay in ketosis. It can make your ketones stronger, and you can stay in ketosis longer. So it's just a little tip and trick. And I'm just going to do 2 trays of these with Mct pieces. And normally I'll measure it out, but I can tell you right now I've got a good eye, because I mean, I have done this so many times. And about 1 ounce will fill about 5 trays. 1 ounce of Mct pieces. So that goes a long way in the Mct piece department. But anyway, I use an old Truvia container to put my Mct pieces in. And we used powdered Truvia today. So, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to pour this into something that we can pour into our mold, okay? So, I'm going to probably need my husband's assistance. He'll have to just be filming. We're going to go to the counter here. Okay, we're going to turn it off, move your pot over, and we're going to get something to get this bowl out of here without burning us, okay? Alright, and at this point, you can take out your whisk, because we're going to need the rubber spatula at this point, okay? It tasted sweet enough to me, but at this point, you could always add more sweetener. You could use the French vanilla Da Vinci. You could add more powdered Truvia. You could put something else in it that you like. On P3, I normally add some kind of nut butter in this. But right now, I'm teaching you how to make it for P2, mainly. So, as you can see, here's our concoction, our
conglomeration.
Conglomeration, that's what
she needs.
And we're going to pour this in here, and I really do need him to help me right here. Can you get this spatula? I need you.
I'm going to hold the bowl.
Okay. He's such a good helper. Okay. Leave it right there for Ashley. And this is one of those times that if you have kids, they will love you, because they will want to lick that bowl, okay? And when we're finished here, Ashley will be so happy that she gets to lick the bowl. So at this point, I'm going to show you how I do this. I pour this in a measuring cup, and I just start pouring in each little mold. And I don't fill it all the way. And you need to make space in your freezer, because I put these on a shelf in the freezer for 20 minutes. And after 20 minutes, they're done. You can pop them out and keep them in your refrigerator for when you're craving something chocolate. I'll have the nutrition facts and everything at the bottom, but I don't even put this in my diary. And I've actually lost really well after eating these. The other night I made the 96 pieces, and honestly, I dropped almost a pound the next day. So, and see how they just spread. They're not like, it's not very watery like the coconut oil stuff is. This has the Manna in it, so it's a little different because the Manna's in it. And it doesn't really taste like coconut. My husband and my daughter liked it, and they're not big fans of coconut, but they like this, I can tell you that. And but this made 2 cups of the product, and we'll see how many pieces it makes here. I hope everybody's having a good night tonight, and those of you who are fighting with Tom or Aunt Flo or whatever you want to call it, hopefully this chocolate treat will just help you win the war, win the battle. That's what I call it. Okay, so far we've made 30. Now we're going on to our pumpkins. The pumpkins are so cute. And Dollar Tree has these pumpkins right now, because I just got them as a gift for someone recently, and they worked out really good. And normally when I'm finished pouring all of them, I go back and I clean up the trays and stuff, but I do a lot of licking, I'll just warn you. And, I mean, it's for my family and me, it's not a big deal, but, we're on the 5th tray now, and this should have made 46. It may make more than that, okay? We're doing good. We're up to 45, 46. And this is a coconut oil knife that I used earlier. And just make as many as you can out of it. And like I said, make room in your freezer and stick them on the shelf in your freezer. My freezer doesn't have room yet. I've got to do that. So I'm going to have my husband stop it here in a second. But I just wanted to show you, this made 58, and then there's some more at the bottom of this. So it probably made 60 by the time I clean things up. And I'm going to show you real quick what it looks like, because in the magic of MsHcGGirl, but in the magic of MsHcGGirl world, I'm not Paula Deen, you guys, but
you do have her glasses.
I do have her glasses. I love her glasses. I made 96 the other night, and I want to show you what they look like. Here's some right here. Okay. Like, here's the pumpkin. Here's the Tiki Man. Here is the Frosty the Snowman, and here's another Tiki Man. But I have a whole bunch in there, and even the heart shapes. And this is what they look like, and they are so yummy, okay? And I hope you try it, and if you like it, let me know and put it in the review section under this. I love each and every one of you. Enjoy some chocolate manna, and have a great night. Peace out.